The ground beneath your feet feels completely solid and permanent, but deep inside our planet, a chaotic fluid engine is running completely wild. About 3,000 kilometers beneath the surface, the Earth's outer core is a roaring sea of liquid iron and nickel churning at temperatures hot enough to match the sun. This swirling ocean of molten metal generates powerful electrical currents that create a massive invisible shield stretching far out into the freezing vacuum of space. This shield is our magnetosphere, and it is the only thing standing between the delicate biosphere of Earth and a devastating bombardment of lethal solar radiation. But geologic history reveals a terrifying truth, which is that this protective magnetic shield is not fixed in place and has flipped its direction hundreds of times. During a geomagnetic reversal, the north and south magnetic poles completely swap places, meaning your compass would point directly toward Antarctica instead of the Arctic. Hollywood movies love to depict this event as an instantaneous global apocalypse, featuring massive earthquakes, shattering continents, and oceans swallowing entire cities overnight. Science fiction writers frequently claim that the moment the field flips, our atmosphere will instantly burn away and leave the planet a scorched, lifeless wasteland. Like and subscribe to Visual Link if you want to separate sensationalized science fiction from the fascinating reality of our planet's changing physics. The actual science behind a magnetic flip is far more complex, slow-moving, and quietly dangerous to our modern electronic civilization than any movie depicts. A geomagnetic reversal is never a sudden catastrophic event that takes place over the course of a single afternoon or a few terrifying days. In reality, a complete magnetic flip takes anywhere from 2,000 to 10,000 years to fully execute its complex architectural transition. The process is driven by turbulent fluid dynamics in the outer core, where twisting plumes of liquid iron disrupt the symmetry of the global dipole field. Before a flip occurs, the main magnetic field does not just vanish into nothingness, but begins to weaken drastically over centuries of decay. We are actually living through the early stages of this weakening process right now, as the Earth's magnetic field strength has dropped by nearly 10% over the last 2 centuries. Scientists have also been closely tracking a massive anomaly in the southern hemisphere known as the South Atlantic Anomaly, where the field is dangerously thin. In this specific region, the radiation belt dips down closest to the surface, causing satellite computers to crash and glitch every time they fly directly through it. As the global field continues to degrade toward a reversal, it doesn't just disappear, but fragments into multiple erratic magnetic poles scattered across the globe. Imagine living in a world where there are 3 or 4 weak north poles and south poles competing for dominance across different continents simultaneously. This structural fragmentation means the magnetosphere loses its cohesive shape and drops its overall protective shield strength by up to 90%. This massive drop in shielding power is where the true non-sci-fi danger to human civilization shifts from a distant abstract concept into an immediate technological nightmare. Without a strong unified magnetic field, the upper layers of our atmosphere are exposed to a relentless influx of high-energy cosmic rays and solar protons. This radiation will not strip away our oxygen or fry human flesh on the ground, because our thick physical atmosphere still acts as a massive radiation blanket. However, this cosmic bombardment will completely wreak havoc on the invisible electronic nervous system that keeps modern human society functioning and connected. The first and most immediate casualties of a weakened magnetic shield will be our global satellite grids orbiting in the upper reaches of space. Thousands of communication, weather, and navigation satellites will be left completely exposed to intense solar flares and coronal mass ejections without any protection. The sensitive microelectronics inside these satellites will experience continuous bit flips, hardware degradation, and total systemic electrical failure. Our global positioning system, known as GPS, will likely collapse, rendering aviation, maritime, shipping, and automated supply chains completely blind overnight. Like and subscribe to Visual Link to stay ahead of the curve on the hidden technological vulnerabilities shaping our future. The economic cost of losing our satellite infrastructure would instantly run into the trillions of dollars and freeze global commerce in its tracks. But the danger doesn't stay confined to outer space, as the solar radiation will interact directly with our ionosphere to target the ground. When massive solar storms hit a fragmented magnetic field, they generate powerful, unpredictable electrical currents through a process called geomagnetic induction. These induced currents seek out the paths of least resistance on the surface of the Earth, which happen to be our massive high-voltage power grids. The electrical currents surge directly into large power transformers, melting their copper wiring and causing widespread explosive failures across continents. A severe space weather event during a magnetic flip could easily plunge entire nations into dark multi-year blackouts that cannot be easily repaired. Imagine a world without electricity, running water, refrigeration, internet access, or fuel pumps for months or even years at a time. Our modern supply chains are so tightly optimized that a long-term regional power collapse would quickly lead to systemic food shortages and medical crises. Furthermore, the increased radiation in the upper atmosphere will severely damage the ozone layer, which protects us from harmful ultraviolet rays. While the radiation won't kill us directly, a depleted ozone layer means that skin cancer rates would skyrocket and agricultural crop yields would drop globally. The global climate system could also experience unpredictable shifts as the altered ionosphere changes how clouds form and how solar energy distributes through the air. Geologists studying ancient rock formations have found that previous magnetic flips did not cause mass extinctions of biological life on Earth. Our ancestors, including Homo erectus, survived the last major reversal known as the Brunnsmachiama reversal roughly 780,000 years ago. The birds, sea turtles, and whales that rely on magnetoreception for long-distance migration will face centuries of deep evolutionary confusion. Their internal biological compasses will have to adapt to multiple wandering poles, but history shows that life finds a way to recalibrate its internal sensors. The terrifying reality is that the planet itself will be completely fine during a flip, but our hyper-connected digital civilization is profoundly fragile. We have built our entire global economy on the assumption that the Earth's magnetic shield is a permanent, unyielding constant of nature. We are completely unprepared for a world where the technological infrastructure outpaces our baseline planetary defenses and leaves us vulnerable. Fortunately, engineers and space agencies are not just sitting around waiting for the lights to go out across the planet forever. Scientists are currently building advanced satellite constellations to map the core movements with unprecedented precision to give us early warning systems. Power companies are starting to develop hyper-resilient transformers and automated grid decoupling switches that can isolate surges before they destroy equipment. Engineers are also designing new satellite architectures that use advanced software shielding and redundant memory cells to survive high radiation environments. We are learning how to harden our digital civilization against the inevitable shifts of the planetary engine running deep beneath us. Don't forget to subscribe to Visual Link and turn on notifications so you never miss our deep dives into planetary science and survival technology. The timeline for the next flip remains a massive scientific mystery because the core operates on chaotic, nonlinear timescales. A complete reversal could begin tomorrow morning, or it might not fully materialize for another several thousand years down the road. What we know for certain is that the field is actively changing and forcing us to reconsider our relationship with our home planet. We can no longer view the Earth as a static background stage for human history, but as an active, dynamic partner in our survival. The shifting lines of magnetic force are a quiet reminder that we live at the mercy of deep cosmic and geophysical cycles. The next era of human engineering will require us to build systems that don't just exploit nature, but harmonize with its fluctuations. We must transform our fragile digital network into a resilient shield capable of enduring the changing seasons of our planet core. The flashing compass needle is not a sign of an impending doomsday, but a call to build a more intelligent and sustainable civilization. As the poles continue their slow, silent dance across the map, our task is to ensure our knowledge and technology survive the journey. The ultimate test of our species will be whether we can maintain our connection to each other when the shield goes dark. Turn your eyes away from the sci-fi disaster movies and look closely at the real data guiding our planetary future. Protect your data, harden your infrastructure, study the science, and learn to navigate a world where the rules of North and South are rewritten. The The future belongs to the prepared minds who look beyond the panic and master the changing physics of the cosmic grid. Stay curious, stay resilient, and keep finding your own true north no matter where the compass points.